I can't tell you enough about the competency, the care, just the overall feeling that you get when you're working with Dr. Webb and his staff, that you are the most important person that they're dealing with. My name's Jimmy White. I own AGP, Above Ground Pizza, here in New Braunfels. And I came in today because they asked if I would have a couple words to say about my doctor, and I have lots of fabulous words to say about my doctor. I first hurt my back, I think, when I was about 25. They went in and did like a laminectomy, which is like they trimmed up the stuff that was in there, and that got me like another 2 years. Then they had to go in and do a fusion on L5-S1. But then I could tell it slowly started to creep in again, the same symptoms I was having, except it was unilateral to both sides, with my left being worse. And I decided that it was time to have it looked at, and by the time they went in and looked, I had pretty much completely destroyed the vertebrae above the L5-S1. From taking the pressure for all those years, doing all the work for the extra disc down at the bottom, it was shot to, and the doctor said it was time to do something about it. Oh, there's lots of stuff I couldn't do. I sit in a car for a long period of time. I had to cancel a trip to go visit my mother because I knew I couldn't be sitting in one spot. And then eventually what happened was I started to get spasms. So it would start to hurt, and then it would spasm, and I literally would have to get on the floor and stretch out and try to get it worked. I'm like, I can't be doing this on the aisle of a plane. Yeah. So it was time to do something if my life was going to be any kind of normal. I talked to a lot of doctors, and having been to doctors in my whole life, especially with this back, I can kind of tell people I relate to, people that I think have a deeper understanding of what the patient is going through. So I met with several doctors. I didn't like them very much, and then somebody recommended Dr. Webb, and I particularly looked up his background, and he's ex-military, and he did a lot of time overseas in some very, very busy situations where he was doing a lot of work as doctors, probably as much work as a regular surgeon might see in 10 years that he was over there. And I felt as though that experience alone, and then of course he got out and specialized in back and spine and everything. So I mean, he had all the requirements, but I liked his background. And then when I actually met him, I was just really completely at ease. He's just a super nice guy, and somehow that really reflects down to his entire staff. The important thing is go in and talk to Dr. Webb. I don't know, I didn't see any of the other doctors that are associated with there, but I can tell you from the very beginning, as soon as I started to talk to Dr. Webb, and then his crew got involved, I felt like I was like their only patient. They took incredibly good care of me.